Episode 1. I imagine if you clicked on this video, you're shopping around for a Final Fantasy XIV playlist that'll suit your tastes. Personally, when I look for gameplay playlists, it usually takes me some time watching to figure out if there's a reason I'd rather find a different playlist. To help speed up that process for anybody watching this, I thought I'd go to a few bullet points to explain what this isn't going to be. First and foremost, the commentary will be dull, so that's that. I'm not really an interesting person, and I don't have much to say about myself or the game. Not really a good combination for a gameplay video, but this isn't exactly a Let's Play. And obviously this won't be a no commentary playthrough either. Although there will be long periods of silence, interrupted whenever I feel like saying something. I imagine it'll make a pretty uneven watching experience, maybe unwatchable. On top of that, this won't be a blind playthrough, so if you're looking for reactions to the story or reactions in general, this isn't the place for that. Though I don't plan on talking about any story spoilers before they happen on screen. I won't be particularly knowledgeable about the game. Although I've played up to the latest expansion, I don't consider myself a lore master by any means. The gameplay won't really be good either, I'm pretty casual. And as you can probably already tell, the vocal quality won't be very good either. Actually, I'm kind of bad at speaking in general, and my lisp will get pretty annoying. Even though I plan on reading the unvoiced character lines, I'm no voice actor in the slightest. Oh, and if you're maybe looking for a small content creator and hoping to interact with their community, I should clarify that this is more or less a video diary for myself to watch at some future point. I'm not a Let's Player trying to grow a channel or anything like that, and I don't really plan on reading or responding to any comments. So if that's what you're looking for, I think you'll only find a barren wasteland. Actually, I question if I myself am even going to watch this in the future, given how long a game this is. So I guess these videos are for no one, really. With that all said, I'll go ahead and start with the opening movie.
Hydaelyn. A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the 3 great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the Astral Eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the 6th and most recent Astral Era, the Northern Empire of Garlemald amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean Alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Dalamud, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. 5 years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tirelessly to raise himself from the calamity's ruin. The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity. Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in Eorzea, one whose tale is yet unwritten. May he ever walk in the light of the crystal.
So that introduction summarizes the state of the game after the original iteration, called 1.0 sometimes, was nuked after some negative feedback. And when the game was re-released as A Realm Reborn version 2.0, the story was reworked so that anybody joining didn't need to know any of the story happening in the previous version. Having said that, there's probably a lot that goes on in A Realm Reborn that would be improved by knowing what happens in 1.0. Unfortunately, I don't have any knowledge about all of that. Actually, cinematically, it probably would have made more sense to watch this A Realm Reborn demo, opening cutscene, rather than the opening movie first, but we'll play it now anyway. Alright, that was cooler than I remember. Definitely should have started with that rather than the opening movie, but I'm not going to move anything around with editing or anything like that. No editing in general in these videos, another reason to click off if you haven't already. Now with that, we can go ahead and start with the character creation. I wanted to create a character in Balmung to follow in the footsteps of the legendary adventurer that inspired me to start playing the game, but they're not accepting new characters right now. So I'll go ahead and create one in the Dynamics Center, since there's a experience bonus for that. I had created some appearance data ahead of time, so I don't have to waste any time. We'll set our birthday, which has no impact on gameplay, as it says on screen, to October 31st, just for fun. And it's a bit on the nose, but we'll set Naldal as our patron deity. I don't really know how this impacts any dialogue or anything like that, but it may just be there for giving your character some background, or giving some personality to their background. I guess I can read the description for Naldal at least. Naldal, the overseer of the underworld and god of commerce, is the guardian deity of Ul'dah. He commands the element of fire and is associated with the 10th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Naldal is a single manifestation of the deific twins Nald and Thal. He is most often depicted as a discerning merchant holding a balance. His symbol is the cowrie, an ancient shell currency. And of the available classes to start with, I'm just going to go ahead and pick Gladiator. That's not too important to me because I just want to start in Ul'dah. I'll be changing my class later, but we'll get to that later. And for the precise starting world, I'm not actually sure which one I want. I guess I kind of like the name Rafflesia. I also like Cuculain, if that's pronounced correctly. We'll just go with Rafflesia. And the name, if no one has taken it already. Ko Mori Moriko. Hopefully that's close enough to the naming convention of Lalafell, which tend to repeat syllables a lot in both the forename and the surname. It's decidedly Japanese sounding, which corresponds to the Eorzean, or Etheirus, Hingashi, but I guess it's not too much of a problem if it sounds like a region that we'll get to later on. Alright, no one's taken that name, so we'll go ahead and start. And now for a third time, an opening cutscene.
Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
Hey you. You alright, lass? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. You'll get used to it though, don't worry. You there, halt. What's all this about? Inspection. Men search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Sir, look, Somnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days. Unless you can afford the fine. Heh, business as usual. Whoa! Amulja, to arms, to arms! Seven hells, consider this a warning. Now go, all of you. Phew. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lass. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. They come in bandits, they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we've got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't care much for conversation, you see. Brent's the name, and peddling's me trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring is a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? I guess the character that I'm playing as would answer... power. Power? As in, power to do good? Like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that. Aye, I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. When you arrive in town, you'd best enroll at the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. It wouldn't hurt to join a guild neither. Uldah's home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to fight with a sword, your fists, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Uldah? I'll say no. But of course it ain't. Still might be as this journeyed iterant. What is this English? Still, might be as this journeyed itinerant has a few new things to teach you about your destination. Ahem. Uldah is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folk know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarous cronies would happily get rid of Her Grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists. And the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizard Men, that's the Amalja, couldn't care less about Uldan politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need, greed, and profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold Uldah, jewel of Thanalan where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance, her name, Uldah. Even with the coming of the 7th Umbral Era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Oi, Venturer, over here. I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance? Eh? How can I tell? Heh. Name's Wymond, and my business is knowing every bugger else. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of our welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even, just this once like. Welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Danalan. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Controller, of course. Yep, more instructions. And talk to Wyman to proceed. I'll go ahead and close that, and after over 30 minutes of cutscenes and whatnot, we're finally playing the game. Well, I guess there's still a tutorial for here. But from now on, Komori, I guess we're partners. I probably should end the episode here, but we'll get to a point where we can take a break. Let's see, accepting the level 1 quest from Wymond. "'Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse. And I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the Quicksand and speak to Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild. I can set you on the right path." Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventurer. Duty list displays quests. That's all that's saying. I believe this area is instanced, considering I don't see any players wandering around until you complete the tutorial. I say tutorial, but it's really just getting used to the control scheme and the UI. I think once we're done talking to Momodi, we'll be in the game proper, and we can take a break. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you, that is. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. Then there's the Garthian Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the Lesser Moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an eighth hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye, 'twas like the end of the world had come at last. But then things begin to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them, 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that. But the fact is they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of these brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the Calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten. And so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand, and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register, neat as you can. Ko Mori Moriko. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Miss Moriko. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness, I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance, if twice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a fourth chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, please, mercy. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one if I'm honest. Don't worry though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing a lady muse on the many manhoods of her acquaintance from time to time. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Komori. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little bit about our fair city. Alright, main scenario quest, progress to the main scenario. The scenario guide points to the main scenario. I think we're still in the tutorial instance, but I think now's a good time to take a break.